That's the best sound that I've heard. Wow. We are live. Okay, so it is 5:40. We're 10 minutes late for a little technical issue, and the good news is we have it resolved. We have 2 empty seats up here, but we've got a full council here tonight, and with Councilman Rowe and Councilman Harrington. Yep, they're tuning in, and we're ready to go. So, Glenda, you want to do the pleasure?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Welcome to the February 13th meeting, and we've got a call to order at 5:40. So everybody has got a copy of the minutes for the January 9th meeting. I would entertain a motion to accept or to amend.
Move to accept.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you for that. Moving on down the list of the agenda, visitors and petitioners. I see a face in here I don't quite recognize. Blair, we got a youth voice writing contest winner for February, I believe. Yeah, we've kind of stressed Blair a little bit with the technical issues today. I appreciate your help as always.
So it's a really precious article. Her name is Ella Purtle. Her mother is Lauren Purtle, and she lives in Benton.
This is for February.
February.
Okay.
Yeah. She's 9 years old, and she wrote a lovely little note about her mother and how trustworthy her mother is. But anyway, it's really sweet. In last week's news, it was awesome.
All right.
It really was. It really was.
Could you spell her last name?
IRTLE.
I was surprised to see it here, but I haven't seen one for a while.
Yeah, it's been 2 months.
Okay, I thought it
Yeah.
was one.
We had 3 submissions.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get right started into it. So old business. In the council meetings prior, we've been doing a lot of conversations about how to better prepare our community for emergencies. And as far back as passing the budget, the council allocated monies to be spent on a grant proposal. And we are into the business of passing a municipal order to make it so tonight. And we have a municipal order 2301, which talks about that, and it delineates from the budget what the monies are to be used for. So in front of council, we've got a couple of descriptions. So there's a municipal order, which is the legal document, I suppose, that does refer to the attachment of clarify the intended methodology of providing the contemplated services and to make sure that we satisfy everything we're supposed to do when we're handling the public funds. So in front of council, there's 2 alternates for describing what the methodology and contemplated services are. There is an alternate A written in legalese that goes into some of this stuff. And then there's alternate B, which has been streamlined with a lot of hard work. Nita's been working with Blair, and it is a more streamlined version, which I would say is probably what we would see more of a plain English version of how to solicit for bids. And then when we pass this, when the council passes this municipal order, the administrative function of government we'll put together the panel of people to evaluate the competitive bid. And it will be the application package. There's been a lot of work done on that already, made the administrative function, my work, a lot easier with the work the council's already done. But there are delegated authorities and things we have to pay attention to. So in front of the council tonight this is the municipal order. It gets down to the meat of the things that we nearly talked to death in here. And we can get busy getting some help for our emergency situations. So with that, I think the first order of business would be probably to choose alternate A or alternate B. A is the one without the letterhead, and B is the one with the letterhead. I believe that we have almost vehement agreement on the two, but the alternate B is just, more streamlined, plain English version. And alternate A came from council. And so has everybody had a chance to review those two? You may want to kick off discussion on which one they prefer, or you want me to just to ask and go down through and see, they essentially say the same thing
They do essentially.
for all intents and purposes. But we've got to get the paperwork going and get this thing approved.
I was wondering that in the front paragraph, well, on the front and the 1, 2, 3, the fourth paragraph, it talks about the 100,000, but it doesn't talk about the 75,000, but it does in the last paragraph.
Right.
Where the one with our logo on it does right away discuss the 100,000 and the 75,000 in the first and the last page. So I didn't know if we needed to have that in the first page, the limited to, because that's not on there.
That was one of the things that I changed, that he didn't have it on there, so that we would have that we're not going to give a grant any more than 75,000.
No individual grant greater than 75.
That was what, unless the council wants to do otherwise, that was what we did.
That was proposed as an option. I think everybody was aware of that. And that is a difference there. That's true.
Does it need to be listed there on the front?
I think in the definition and in the eligibility requirements, I mean, what this actually does is we've passed a line item of 100,000. And this tells how that 100,000 is supposed to be dispersed. And so since it does talk about disbursement of not to exceed the lesser of 75 of the amount of individual in that last paragraph, I think it's sufficient, but
Okay.
I do.
No, if you all think it's sufficient, then that's perfectly fine. That was all I was.
I mean, I didn't know that he was going to send this one. I mean, I think he took mine and added his bit to it.
Well, and I'm confused whether he wrote one and you streamlined it, or I don't think this has been since he submitted one to you last, but there's been so many versions of this. And I think we're in.
The last one where I put in what he told me.
Okay.
That I put in. The only thing that I added to, he took out, I don't know if he took out or just didn't catch the 75,000 in the overview, and I felt like it was important to have that in the overview.
Okay.
So, and I don't, since I constructed it, I don't know whether I should vote on it. So
I think you should. I mean, this is a lot of hard work, and you're a member of the council, and this is a municipal order for a grant.
thank you.
And it's been cumbersome. And I think that where we're at now, we've known it, the first or second month in, we could have saved some effort, but that effort's not wasted at all, because it's going to make administration of the grant by the mayor's office much easier.
And I don't think it mentions, I could have overlooked it, but the one with the logo mentions the nonprofit organization, which I thought we found was important. But this one over here does not mention the nonprofit organization.
So it does on the third paragraph down, grants will be provided to nonprofit organizations.
Okay, see, and I think I'm just looking to see if it's in the same location. That's a little different. Okay.
Okay. Well,
Okay, I'm happy with mine.
okay.
But
I mean, are there differences? I mean, I know Greg's not here to give his spiel, but are there differences that he thought needed to be in there for like legal defense purposes?
this is actually, the first one is what I sent Greg. Both of them are mine, basically.
Oh, that's why I'm confused.
And they're basically the same. I might have worded, took out, I pretty much did it the same, other than putting in the part about the 75,000 because we had discussed that.
Well,
So basically, the only difference I think, is the fact that in the overview